Now, a couple of days ago, I recorded a team selection video ahead of the quarterfinals, but since then, I've had a little think and made a couple more changes to my team. So in this video, I'm going to talk about them. So back when I made the original team selection video for the quarterfinals, we didn't fully know how the tournament tree was looking. I believe we were still waiting for at least the Netherlands to play their fixture, maybe Spain as well. I can't exactly remember, but there were still some games left to go when I recorded that video. But now we know the remaining tournament tree, the 8 teams in the quarterfinals, the 4 fixtures that are going ahead. And that kind of changes my view on teams that I want to be bringing players in from. When you look at kind of the top half of this tournament tree, you've got Spain against Germany, Portugal against France. I cannot predict the outcomes of those games at all. I think all 4 of these teams are very evenly matched. I don't know who's going to get to the semi-finals, and I don't know who's going to get to the final. Now, I own players from all of these teams already, but I think just knowing this and comparing it to the other part of the bracket where the Netherlands play Turkey and England play Switzerland, where I'd obviously say I wouldn't rule out Turkey beating Netherlands, and I'd say Switzerland, I wouldn't be massively surprised if they beat England. But I'd say that England and the Netherlands are more favoured to at least get through the next phase, right, than any of the other teams. So for that reason, I think with that new information and the players that I have in my team already, kind of changes some of my plans with my team. Now, there were a couple more things that I just wanted to go through, just around picking your team, first of all, and the number of players that we can have now from each nation. So the round of 16, it was 4. And that increases to 5 for the quarterfinals. So you can now have 5 players from any national team. And I just wanted to go through one more thing as well. In terms of free transfers, before the last 16, of course, we had unlimited. We could change our team completely as we liked. And ahead of the quarterfinals, we've got 3. Next week, we've got 4. And in the final, we've got 5. So, knowing those kind of things might help you decide if you've got any chips left, for example, when you might want to use them, or exactly what you want to do with your team ahead of the quarterfinals. Okay, so with all of that in mind then, I just thought I'd talk through my team as it is at the moment. I've got Ake, Cucurella, Guehi, Stones, Teo Hernandez, Jordan Pickford and Diogo Costa in my defence. Gotta say, like I said, I was hesitant about owning Spanish, German, French, Portuguese players, etc. But that is a majority of this defence. And to be honest, I don't think I can massively justify selling them all. I think, once these teams either progress or get knocked out for the semis, that might be the time I do so. In fact, I'm probably eyeing up a wildcard, to be honest, for the semi-finals. But right now, I see one obvious player that I need to get rid of because Mark Guehi is suspended. So he's not going to play against Switzerland. And if I'm using my wildcard in the semi-finals, doesn't really, I do not need him in my team. I don't need to keep him there hoping he plays next week or anything like that. I can just get rid of him. So he's going to be the one transfer I make in my defence. And I think I'm going to bring in Virgil van Dijk. Of all of the Netherlands defenders, he's the most nailed on, in my opinion. And he probably also carries with him as much goal threat as you can, really. I think he's already scored a goal this tournament. There was a bit of a rumour as to whether he was the designated Netherlands penalty taker ahead of the tournament. I've still got a feeling that's going to be Memphis Depay, but there's a chance, based on what Koeman has said in the past, that Van Dijk could be the Netherlands penalty taker. And to be honest, I think the rest of my defence is all right. I think France are going to be really solid defensively. I would have picked the Dutch goalkeeper, completely eludes me his name, Verbruggen, there you go. I would have picked Verbruggen, but he and Pickford play on the same day. So I just don't see a point in using a transfer to bring in a goalkeeper who plays on the same day as another goalkeeper I have in my team. So I might as well just keep hold of Costa. Now, if I wasn't using my wild card in the semi-finals, I would probably go for De Vrij, because De Vrij is a whole million cheaper than Van Dijk and looks to be equally nailed. It's Ake, De Vrij and Van Dijk being the back 3 for the Netherlands. I think that's Koeman's preferred setup. So if I didn't want to play my wild card, I'd probably save the cash and go for De Vrij. But given the position I'm in, I think Van Dijk is my best bet. The midfield is quite easy, to be honest. There could be one potential change I make here in going maybe Gundogan to maybe an England midfielder, Saka, Foden. Can't quite get to Bellingham. Or I could go for Xavi Simons of the Netherlands. Just again, they got Turkey, arguably a better fixture than Gundogan against Spain. But I just can't massively justify getting rid of Gundogan, even though he's not on penalties. He's one of the top scoring players in the game at the moment. You know, ball recoveries, assists, and open play goals that he has scored. He's still a really good option. Fabian Ruiz, I really like him. 6.5 million for Spain. You know, playing really well this tournament. I know he's got Germany, who are a tough defence to come up against. Same with Williams, but I think both of these guys can do well. They've proven this tournament they're on tip-top form, and I think they could do well. Musiala, one of the top scoring players this competition so far, arguably the player of the tournament, obviously depending on how far Germany actually get. And Bruno Fernandes, if I was on a wildcard this week, I've already made a wildcard team, I'd probably go without him just because I don't think he's got a secured and nailed on route to the final. And the manager is letting Ronaldo still take all the free kicks, all the penalties, which really in my mind Bruno Fernandes should be doing, but maybe not penalties, but at least the free kicks. So it does reduce, for me at least, Bruno Fernandes' appeal, and particularly considering he's playing France. On paper, I just think France have an almost impenetrable defence. Koundé, Upamecano, Saliba, Hernandez, and Kante in front of them with a good goalkeeper, Maignan. They are really good defensively, which is why I'm quite happy to keep Theo Hernandez. But it does mean that Bruno Fernandes could have a quiet game against France. But you know, all in all, I just don't see an obvious transfer, other than maybe Xavi Simons from the Netherlands. Up front then, I'm currently sat on Kane, Ronaldo and Mbappe, and I've got a bit of a budget issue because Van Dijk is 1.5 million more than Guehi is. I need to try and find that money through another player, and remembering what I said about Ronaldo in Portugal against France, France being a ridiculous defence and Ronaldo really not having the best tournament so far, I think what I'm going to do is get rid of Ronaldo for Cody Gakpo. If I was a betting man, I'd probably say that I'd back France to beat Portugal in the quarterfinals. I'm playing a wildcard, so it doesn't really matter. But I just ultimately think Cody Gakpo's got more of a chance of scoring a goal against Turkey than Ronaldo does against France. Now again, I could make some changes to my midfield here as well. I'm still open to maybe moving Gundogan on with the spare budget that I have. I think I've got about 0.5 million in the bank. But right now, I'm fairly settled on this team, and I think it will serve me quite well. Obviously, like I said, I'm playing my wild card during the semi-finals, so ultimately, the transfers that I'm making this week are only with this week in mind. Like, I'm completely blinkers on, not focused on the long term. So, yeah. A couple of additional changes that I maybe didn't talk about in the last video. Just wanted to keep you up to date. Okay, and that's the end of the video. I'm pretty sure that's near enough where I'll land with my team selection. I'm going to deadline stream at 3:30 p.m. on Friday. That's tomorrow at the time that I'm actually recording this video. So if there are any changes, additional changes I make to my team, be able to catch it on there. But ultimately, other than maybe Gundogan, I don't think it's going to be all that different. Apologies, I've got a bit of a stain on my t-shirt there as well. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, I would really appreciate it if you could leave me a like rate and let me know in the comments if there are any other changes that you would make to that team of mine. The Golden Goal channel, you can subscribe to it if you want to stick around. It should be just there, I think, on your screen. Thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you in my next video.